Hi, good morning, students. Central force മോഷനിലെ പ്രോപ്പർട്ടീസ് നോക്കാം. അതിനുശേഷം പ്ലാനറ്ററി മോഷനെ കുറിച്ച് മനസ്സിലാക്കാം. ഫസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ഓൾ, സെൻട്രൽ ഫോഴ്സ് മോഷനിലെ ഇക്വേഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് F is equal to ma, that is mr double dot, that is expressed is in a form of a function of the radius vector and the unit vector of the radius. So the direction of the central force motion is along the radius. So in this is the equation of the central force motion. Mu r double dot equal to F of r cap. So the mu is the reduced mass, even though one particle is considered here, that is the reduced mass. It is a vector equation and there are three components of this equation in three-dimensional space. So we are going to find the solution of this equation by using the law of conservation of momentum and energy. So first thing is, as the central force is along the radius, that is, it is having the unit vector of radius. So we can say that if you find the torque due to the central force, there is zero, that is zero, because the torque is given by r cross the force. Since the force which is central force is r cap, that r cross r cap is zero. Therefore, the torque is zero. So the central force do not exert any torque on the body, on the reduced mass. So if I say the torque is zero, then what will happen to the angular momentum? So the relation says that the rate of change of angular momentum is the torque. But we know that the torque is zero for a central force. We can say that dl by dt is equal to zero. Therefore, angular momentum of the reduced mass is constant. So that means if the angular momentum of a body is constant, then the motion of that body is confined to a plane. Why? Because the angular momentum is given by r cross p, that is the moment of momentum. R cross mu v is the angular momentum. But angular momentum is constant here. Now what is velocity? Velocity is r dot. Now r is always perpendicular to the L. Why? Because a cross b is perpendicular to a and b. Therefore we can say L is always perpendicular to r. That is the property of the cross product. But we know that angular momentum of a central force is constant. So angular momentum is constant, that is, it is a vector, is fixed in space. So that means the angular momentum is perpendicular to r and it is constant also. Therefore, the only thing is the radius vector can move only in the plane perpendicular to the angular momentum. So through the origin. So since the motion is confined to the plane, what we next step is, in order to solve this central force problem, we choose a coordinate system so that the motion is in the xy plane. So what I have to choose is a polar coordinates. So now the central force equation you have to write in the polar coordinates. So r is the first coordinate, that is r is varying because uh, r can vary, but that can vary only in a plane, that is xy plane. But the radius vector can make an angle inside the same xy plane. So the equation, central force equation, ma, that is mu r double dot, that is the force, that is equal to f of r into r cap. That will become, here in this case, mu into here r double dot minus r theta dot square equal to f of r. So what is the reason for that? Because I am writing in the uh, polar coordinates. Mu into r theta double dot plus 2r dot theta dot equal to 0. That means the force equation in the polar coordinate theta. So ഇത് എങ്ങനെയാണെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാൽ, you have to find the relation between the express r double dot in terms of r and theta. So now what is the conclusion? The angular momentum is constant, the torque is 0, the radius vector is perpendicular to the angular momentum, but the angular momentum is constant. That means the radius vector is always perpendicular to the angular momentum. Therefore that is possible only in a xy plane, or in a plane the radius vector can change the direction only in an xy plane. This is the property of the central force motion. So we are going to solve this problem using the spherical polar coordinate system. Now, as we know that the law of conservation of angular momentum and energy can be applied to the central force motion. So what is law of conservation of angular momentum? As we know that the angular momentum is conserved if the net torque is 0, and in this case of central force, the total energy and the total angular momentum, or the magnitude of the angular momentum, are constants because of this property that the law of conservation of momentum and energy are obeyed by the central force problem. Now we are going to apply these two law of conservations, energy and angular momentum conservation, into the central force problem. So we are going to trying to solve the problem of central force. Now we have two equations. The first equation is the force equation in terms of r, that is mu r double dot minus r theta dot square is equal to f of r. So you will study how we are writing this equation when you refer to the spherical polar coordinate system. So express r double dot in terms of r and theta, that will get r double dot minus r theta dot square. Okay, now we are going to use these two equations, and second equation is the force equation in terms of theta. Now we know that the angular momentum of a body is given by mvr, magnitude is mvr. So instead of v are putting r theta, so you'll get r mr square theta dot, and the energy of the central force body is body under central force is the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. So we are going to write the energy values: half mu r v square. V square is velocity square. So what I am using spherical polar system, so that is r dot square plus r square theta dot square, because the velocity square in terms of r theta is given by r dot square plus r square theta dot square, because there are two velocities. One is the velocity in the radial direction, and the second is the velocity in the theta direction, angular direction. The third coordinate phi is not applicable because the motion is only in the plane. So the velocity of a body in spherical polar system is given by r dot square plus r square theta dot square, that is velocity square. So now we are using that equation expression for v square. So the energy, total energy of this body will be equal to E is equal to half mu r dot square plus r square theta dot square plus u of r. Now we are clear about this kinetic energy. Now what is potential energy? Potential energy is due to the force that act on the body, that is conservative forces or any forces. So due to the position of that body, the body gets a potential energy. So that is given by minus of integral f of r dr. So in this case, the force acting on the body is f of r. So the potential energy is minus integral infinity to the r f of r dr. Okay, now we are having the energy equation. So the energy equation, as I told you, kinetic energy is given by half mu v square, that is r dot square plus r square theta dot square plus u of r. So I am putting the value of, I know that the angular momentum L is equal to mvr, that is m r square theta dots, because v is r theta, v is equal to r theta, v is equal to r omega, sorry. So omega is theta dot, therefore that will become r square, r dot square plus r square theta dot square. Now I am writing theta dot is nothing but L by mu r square, because what is angular momentum? Angular momentum is equal to m vr, or in this case mu vr, but v is r omega or r theta dot, that will become mu into r into again r theta r omega, that is r square omega, that is mu into r square theta dot. So theta dot will be L by mu r square. So the kinetic energy terms will be half mu r dot square, that is the kinetic energy due to the radial direction. The second kinetic energy is due to the angular direction, that is written in terms of angular momentum. So the energy, total energy will become half mu r dot square plus half L square by mu r square plus U of r. Above, this is the equation of the total energy. Okay, so now we are going to solve this problem, the central force problem, slowly. We have reached the energy expression. We got the energy as having three terms. One is the kinetic energy due to radius motion. The second is the kinetic energy due to angular motion. And the third is the potential energy. Okay. Now you see the second term and the third term. So the third term is the second and third term can be combined into a single term because all reference to the theta is gone, because the kinetic energy due to the angular motion is also considered as a potential energy, because I am considering this motion in only r direction. That is, motion in r direction is what we are going to consider. So what I can do, the kinetic energy and the potential energy can be combined. The kinetic energy due to the angular motion plus potential energy is combined to the single potential energy. So we call it as effective potential energy. So that will become half L square by mu r square plus U. So that will call as effective potential energy. So morely it is called as effective potential. The effective velocity differs from the two, that is the true potential, by the term L square by 2 mu r square, and this is called as centrifugal potential. Okay. So now we are having an equation, that is energy. Energy is given by half mu r dot square plus U effective. So this is an equation. What is r dot? R dot is dr by dt. So dr by dt the whole square, half mu into dr by dt whole square plus U equal to E. So now what I will do, I will cross multiply. So 2E by mu plus minus U effective will be r dot square. So r dot will be root of 2 by mu E minus U. So now I am having an equation which dr by dt is equal to root of 2 by mu into E minus U effective. This U effective contains the actual potential energy and the centrifugal potential energy. So now I want R. I will integrate this equation. So what I will do, I take the dt to the right side, and this root will come in the denominator. So dr by root of 2 by mu E minus U will be equal to dt, and then I integrate it. It will become, right side will become t minus t0, and the left side will integral r0 to r dr by root of 2 by mu E minus U. So in this equation you get r as a function of t, although so the integral may have to be done numerically. In some cases this integral is not easy to solve, because sometimes you have to solve it by numerical methods. And in the d theta by dt, as we know that omega is equal to d theta by dt, that is theta dot L by mu r square is the value. Okay. So if I integrate this equation, that will become integral d theta is equal to integral dt by dt into L by mu r square. Then it will become integrate theta d theta, that will become theta. So theta minus theta 0 is equal to integral L by mu r square dt. So I have two equations. One is the dr by dt equation, and the second equation is the d theta by dt equation. Suppose if I am interested in d theta by dr, that is the path of the particle, instead of knowing r as a function of theta, not as a function of time, that is orbit of the particle. So orbit of the particle is nothing but the radius function in terms of theta. So in that case, what I will do, I divide the second equation, that is d theta by dt, with the first equation dr by dt. So what will I get? So d theta by dt is nothing but L by mu r square. Dr by dt is nothing but root of 2 by mu e by root of 2 by mu e minus u. So that will become L by mu r square 1 by root of 2 by mu e minus u. So this is what the solution, formal solution of the central force motion. So if I integrate, if I solve this equation, or if I find the value of, we can know the value of r in terms of theta. You can find r of t, theta of t, r of theta. So we have to integrate, find the integrals. So we come to the radius of the central force, or the orbit of the central force motion. Now you can use this theory in planets, planetary motion. Okay, that I will be discussing in the next video. So one thing you have to note it down here is the angular momentum mu r square theta dot, that is mbr, is written as mu r square theta dot. If I differentiate this, dl by dt will become 0, that is angular momentum is constant. So first term mu r square, differentiate the theta dot, it will become theta double dot, and if I differentiate r, it will become here r square, so 2r into r dot. So 2r r dot theta dot is what the value. So mu is taken common, it will become r theta double dot plus 2r dot theta dot is equal to 0. So here you got the equation which is identical to the tangential equation of motion. Similarly, differentiation of the energy equation with respect to the time gives the radial equation of motion. So this is what the central force motion solution of the central force motion. So that means we get the general case of the general solution of the, or formal solution of the orbit. So now depending on the value of energy and u, we will get different orbits. So that we will discuss in the next video. What are the different types of orbits possible for the values for the different combination of E and U? As notice that the U effective potential is the sum of the gravitational potential, or whatever potential it is, plus the centrifugal potential. So this is what the discussion for today. So we will continue in the next classes. Thank you one and all.